Climbing Mount Moriah. Do you know where Mount Moriah is? Many people do not know where this place is. They read about it, but they don't know where it is. Actually, it is the Temple Mount, where is the location of the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the first temple and the second temple. I'm going to talk to you about Abraham taking Isaac out to Mount Moriah. It was a journey up to the mountain for a purpose that God called Abraham to do. You can find in Genesis chapter 22 verse 2. Then he said, "Take now your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I shall tell you." Wow, God is asking Abraham to bring his only son to this place where God will ask him to be sacrificed. You know that this is the only son of Abraham, and all the inheritance will go to him, and through him the blessings of the world will come. But yet God wanted him to do that. So why did God ask Abraham to sacrifice his only son? You can find the scriptures. The reason is to test Abraham if he will obey God. So what has it got to do with you and me? This sacrifice at Mount Moriah. There's plenty. If you take this incident in Mount Moriah into correct perspective, you find that it will speak to our life today as well. We are all climbing Mount Moriah. Well, some of us carry heavy burdens in life. Now, I'm going to tell you a story relating to this. I have a friend who has a classmate who lives in Australia, came back to Penang, and they have coffee at Coffee Bean. This friend says that, wow, it's such a luxury to have coffee here. Obviously, my friend was puzzled at why he said that. It's just a normal thing to have a coffee here in Malaysia. And this is the reason why. You see, this man migrated to Australia many years back for the children's education, 2 sons. While they were there, he bought a house, and now he's 65 years old. He will give the house to his eldest son, but he wants to give his second son a house too. So he bought another house and is paying installment. So whatever he earned goes to the installment to this house. All right, and it is a burden to him. At his age, he should be enjoying life. He has given them a good education. He's given them a sacrifice that gave so much to the children. It's now time not to carry this burden. But he didn't understand. He has to carry this burden. Well, burden is real. Many of us carry burdens in life. Like this, like the picture of this lady carrying so much. Probably she lives in poverty to feed her children or her family. The question is, what do you carry to your Mount Moriah? What do you carry in our life that is a burden to us? Our family? Our possessions? Business? Or sometimes we carry ourselves, we are the most important person. You are the most important person. So you carry yourself. You are important. So what do you carry to your Mount Moriah? It's very important, because as a Christian, this is our journey in life. Matthew 11:30, Jesus said, "My yoke is easy, my burden is light." God declared to us, take on his yoke and take on his burden. Is light and easy. So all those things that we carry, we must learn to pass it on to God. Cast your burdens on the Lord and he will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved, to go through things that is unnecessary. Now I'm going to tell you a story of the man and his clocks. Many years ago, there's a man who loved antique clocks. He has something like 200 clocks, antique clocks hanging in his house, hall, room, kitchen, everywhere. So you can guess, every morning when he wakes up, he's preoccupied with winding the clock so that it will tick and tock and will chime. So he does that every day and so proud of his clock, and he talks about them, about it, and he often brings his friends to look at his beautiful clocks. They are from Switzerland, from Germany, from France, from England, from all over the world. But one day when he went out in the afternoon, when he returned, she opened his door, and to his horror, he found that the walls are all empty. Someone came and cutted all his clocks away. Can you imagine how heartbroken he is? That is his possession. That is his love. Wow. This is a true story, It's not a joke. In life, many rich people have too many possessions. I like to watch boxing, and one of the most famous boxers is Floyd Mayweather. He's the richest boxer in the world. He owns a fleet of cars, a private jet, and his home have to house 100 over expensive cars. He has to pay road tax for 100 over cars, insurance for 100 over cars. He has to make sure it starts every day so that the battery won't come out. It's a burden. But this man buys so many things that he don't even have time to drive them. Unnecessary possessions are unnecessary burdens. If you have them, you have to take care of them. There is great freedom in simplicity of living. It is those who have enough but not too much who are the happiest. How true these words are. We can be very happy with little because life is not about the things you own. It's about the relationship you keep with other people. Anything you can relinquish when it has outlived its usefulness possess you. And in this materialistic age, a great many of us are possessed by our possession. Yes, we can be possessed by the things we own. It can be an expensive fish, a car, a house, or a hobby. Shimule Botich says this: Americans consume 3/4 of the world's antidepressant because materialism will never bring happiness. America is the richest country in the world. Anything you want can be found there. And people own a lot of things in America. But yet this rich nation consumes 3/4 of the world's drugs. It tells you that materialism cannot make them happy. Money cannot make them happy. Things cannot make them happy. And I also recall of a rich man's son in Malaysia, very rich man's son. About 25 years ago, it came out in the news that he committed suicide. It proves to you that money is not everything. Happiness is never found in materialistic things. It exists in things that cannot be physically possessed. Therefore, happiness is priceless. It can never be purchased. Yes, very true. Happiness cannot be found in things. Things that you buy, a new phone, a new car, a new computer, everything that you buy can make you happy for a short period. After that, you grow tired of it. So the true happiness can only be found in things that, not things that you buy. Many Christians and Christian leaders have been neutralized by the love of money and materialism. Very true. We too have joined the bandwagon of looking for money. The homage paid to affluence becomes a burden that saps our energy as well as our love for God and others. So when you have more things, when the small-time pastor wants to become a mega church pastor, when he reach there, he will spend time to buy things, to enjoy the finer things in life. And this become more important than people or Jesus. Like Jesus and Paul, we can learn to be contented with what we have, living modestly in order that we may give liberally to the works of the kingdom and to meet the needs of others. John Wimber. Yes, what we have is meant to be given away to do the work of God, to do the work of the kingdom, so that we can help to meet others' needs. That's why God bless us. Christian McDowell, we carry the heavy burdens of materialism and desiring the respect of other people more than we carry the cross. Yeah, we dress to impress, we drive to impress, we live in places to impress others, rather than to impress others with our faith in God. A materialistic person is ruthless with other people but kind to himself. A spiritual person is ruthless with himself but kind to everyone else. Jaggi Vasudev. The characteristics of a rich person or materialistic person is often very stingy, is a miser, because that's how they accumulate wealth and make themselves rich. And towards other people, they are ruthless. They give little, but they take a lot. And they make themselves happy by owning all that they can own. Now, a spiritual person is ruthless with himself but kind to everybody else. What do the writer means? It means this. Give you an example again. I have a friend. He's very thrifty. He'll buy the cheapest t-shirt. He will eat the cheap food. He'll buy a cheap house to stay. But when he gives to a person in need, he gives generously. When he helps a ministry, he gives lots of money to the ministry. He doesn't treat himself well. He treats other people well. That's what it means by ruthless to himself and kind to other people. Yeah. But godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. 1 Timothy 6:6-7. We will never be able to take anything we own on this earth, not even the ring we wear, not even the car we have or the house we have. We take nothing with us. So what's all this fight for? Charles Spurgeon says this: whatever a man depends upon, whatever rules his mind, whatever governs his affection, whatever is the chief object of his delight is his God. And it may not necessarily be Jesus. It is the thing you love most that is your God. Material possessions are often a hindrance towards attaining higher consciousness. They take a cunning delight in becoming one's masters while appearing as a benevolent slave. Yeah, the things you own, you think that you own it, you are the master of it. But yet, that thing you own can make you into a slave. Luke 12:15. Then Jesus said, beware, guard against every kind of greed. Life is not measured by how much you own. So my brothers and sisters, it's not what you own that makes you rich. It is what you do for God that makes you rich. The real final destiny, you have to be rich. Now, if you are poor, it doesn't matter. You may be poor now, but be rich when you arrive at your destiny. Charles Spurgeon, one of the most powerful speaker ever, says this: be nothing, be nobody, and trust him. Do not believe in yourself, but believe in Jesus. Have as many good works as you can cram into your life, but never tell anybody about them or think anything of them. Wow, this is an awesome man. So the advice is, do all the good works that you can in your life and don't tell it to people. Live simple. So be a nobody. There's a time to be born. There's a time to grow up as a baby. And there's a time to harvest when we are working in the world. We begin to do business or we work hard to climb the ladder of success. And there's a time to sow when you reach your golden years. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens. So where are you at in life? It's important that you do the right thing. So my question to you is, what are you carrying in your life? What are the burdens you are carrying? Should you take off that burden you have? So the question here is, what is your Isaac or Isaacs? What are you bringing to the altar to be sacrificed? Is it your family? Do you put your family first or God first? Is it your hobbies, the things you like, the karaoke, the photography, all the hobbies that you have? Is it your wealth? Is it your business? Or even your Christian ministries that you have? Takes hold of you. What is it that is so important to you? Can be more important than God himself. So before you leave, I'll give you a takeaway. I give you 3 takeaways, and these are important. Number 1, let go and let God. Some of us do not know how to let go. You know, we make so much money. We don't know when to stop, when to let go. We just want to continue to make more money. Or some of us don't even want to retire. I've got friends who works for companies that are not very good. You know, in fact, the company sell things that are sinful. And he did not quit his job when he was much younger because he needed the money to finance his children. But the sad thing is, when he came to retirement age, they offer him extension and he took it. When is it that we can let go and let God? So sometimes we hold on to things that God wants you to let go. So if you are that person, let go and let God take charge of your life. Francis of Assisi is a rich man, but he gave all away to live as a monk. And this is what he says: remember that when you leave this earth, you can take with you nothing that you have received, only what you have given, a full heart enriched by honest service, love, sacrifice, and courage. And he says this too: start by doing what's necessary, then do what is possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. Amazing man of God. But he gave away everything to live as a monk so that his life is a rich life. Number 2, obedience is better than sacrifice. It's better to obey God than later when you make all the mistakes, you have to make sacrifices. You have to catch up for time. So if you are hearing this message, God is speaking to you. You have got to put your priorities right. So obey God in what he calls you to do. And my third takeaway is what God wants most from you and me is a relationship. He wants us to be close to Him. And the only way we can be close to Him is the morning devotion. You wake up, spend time with Him, reading the Word, helping people, praying, interceding, and worshiping Him. All right. So God is not interested in what you have or what you own. He's only interested in you, your heart. Where is your heart? That matters a lot to God.
I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through Him who gives me strength. I can do all this through Him who gives me strength. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through Him who gives me strength. I can do all this through Him who gives me strength. All this through Him who gives me strength. I can